Hello, how's everyone doing? Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, hello. We got a lot to cover. Oh my God, what a night last night. What a night. Late December back in 63. Keep my day job, yeah. I know. How's everyone doing? I didn't actually mean to go live right now. I was supposed to go live in a few minutes, but I hit the live button instead of the enter studio button on accident. Oh well, we're good. We're good. How's everybody doing? Thank you guys so much for joining. So do me a favor while you guys are coming in, hit that thumbs up button if you don't mind. It lets me know that you appreciate it, and it also lets other people to know to come on in. The water's fine. Let me turn off my phone before we get started. Oh my God, last night was crazy. So, I first want to say that we are going to go over it was on Prayer Gardens last night. Credit goes to Prayer Garden. Link is in the description. We're going to go over Dawn and Jody Sue for the first time that I'm aware of talking on panel ever that I'm aware of. Now, if you've seen it like any other time other than last night, please let me know. But it was, in my opinion, it's been tension that has been building and building and building for literally the last 2 years. And boy, did it deliver. In my opinion, Don is probably very sore this morning. He probably has a very bruised ego after what he experienced last night. Because Jody Sue, in my opinion, told him off. And I mean off, girl. Okay? And guys, it was crazy. Like freaking crazy. So we're going to watch it. Credit goes to Prayer Garden. Let me I'm going to have to pull it up here. 1 second. Guys, I'm going to talk about it as we go, as we're watching it. Give me just 1 second. PG did a really good job last night, in my opinion, making Dawn feel comfortable and all of that. So, yeah, it was really good. All right. So first, um, Dawn comes up and it's just Dawn and PG. Okay. All right. Here we go. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, guys, if you don't mind. It really does help the channel. I haven't been live as much recently, so I really need it now more than ever. I'm back. I'm going to be streaming a lot more. Life has just been crazy at work and everything else. So, all right, without further ado, let's go. Credit goes to Prayer Garden of America, also known as PG. Using this under the Fair Use Act of 1976 for commentary and criticism purposes only. And if you don't want to like broke up and all that, obviously you can go see it yourself at Prayer Garden. Link is in the description, and I'm sure the mods will put it in the chat.
If you want to support your daughter, and I'm, and like I said, I don't want to I
What
don't
does
want
all
to
these
fight with you,
lies?
Donald. I'm not going to fight
I
with
don't
you.
want to fight with you either, but you sit up there and lie
I'm
constantly.
not.
Okay. First of all, do you guys hear that? Just as a check. Do y'all hear that? My loves. Sorry, I know it's a little bit behind. Okay, perfect. Now, listen, like I just want to say, if you are sensitive to language, this isn't your stream. If you are have little ones in the house, either put some headphones in or check it out another time, maybe. But just want to let you know. All right, let's go.
I know. I don't lie. Tell me what I lie about. Tell me
Every
what I
fucking
lie
thing that comes out your fucking
about.
mouth is
No,
fucking.
no,
Every fucking thing comes out your
no,
mouth is
no.
fucking lie.
Absolute. No,
You're a
Donald. It's not.
sneaky
No,
fucking
it's
bitch.
not. No, it's not.
You need to change the name of your fucking channel.
No, no,
It
it's
ain't
not.
prayer gardens.
No, no, Donald.
Why
It's
don't you
not.
say some prayers? Why don't you
So,
say
but
some?
how did Kathy get the box, Donald?
I told you. Don't you fucking listen?
You didn't tell me. You said it wasn't
I
in the
just
back of the
told you.
Subaru.
She fucking stole it from Candace.
How did she steal it if it would have been at your house?
All Candace's stuff was at Kathy's house. Not all of it, but a lot of stuff that Candace, prized, that she wanted to have with her when she was gone, when I was in jail.
So first of all, as you, Don is always talking to women the way that he wants, and he does throw some really crazy, um, some names out there. Obviously, what did I miss? Something dinged. So, and they're talking about a box. It's like a clothing box, and uh, Dawn slips for the second time. I've noticed this. So I personally do not feel like it was he is saying the wrong vehicle, and it's changing now, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. Um, thank you so much for the gifted membership. That's so sweet of you, single mom. Very kind of you. God bless you. I really appreciate the help right now. Means the world to me, truly. Thank you so much. And if I missed anyone else, mods, please let me know. It's never my intention.
Right?
And Daisy, if Candace wants to come on panel, I will let her up. She's not in backstage, so stop being in my chat saying I'm not letting Candace up because I will let Candace up if Candace wants to come up. If she wants to come up and clear up what Kathy is out here putting out there,
Candace will
fine.
never come up,
We
ever.
really only need to clear up stuff with the police, not you. You're not a cop. You're just a fucking dumbass YouTuber that talks lies constantly.
Donald, you don't know who I am, okay? You
I
have
don't.
no
Yeah,
idea who I am.
you're
You
too
have
shit.
you
You
have
say
no
stupid shit.
idea.
Okay, Cotton Candy, I want to respond to that. Cotton Candy says Daisy is saying this morning that Candace was waiting backstage and that PG wouldn't let her up. I'm finding it hard to believe that because Candace hides behind Dawn all the time. I agree with you, Cotton Candy. I do not believe that Candace was backstage personally because you can hear her in the background over there. And PG said, I mean, you why wouldn't PG let Candace up? She would love to have Candace up. It's not like she's never had Candace up there before. But now Candace really doesn't speak to anybody um other than Daisy. So I don't think that is true personally. I think it would have been great for Candace to come up. I think it would have been great for Candace to have talked more about her missing daughter for the last 2 years, but we have not heard that. And trust me, I'm going to get fired up here in a little bit, but we'll get there. I can feel it coming.
Yeah,
No
you run your
idea.
mouth. You run your fucking
No,
mouth.
what
Piece
you
of
do
shit.
know,
I
what
do
you do
know.
know,
I do
what
know
you
you're a
do
piece of
know,
shit,
what you
and
do
you
know is
lie.
I know all
I know
about this
you
case,
lie.
right? Are you
You're
going
the
to argue with
dirtiest
me, Donald? Are you going to argue? Or are you going to come up here and support your daughter? Are you
man.
going to clear up?
I don't
Are
need
you
you
going
to
to clear?
support my daughter. I
Are
don't
you
need
going
you
to
to support
clear
my
up?
daughter. I don't
You
need
know what?
the support.
I don't need your permission to support your daughter. Okay?
You're not supporting
I
her.
don't need
Like
your I do not
you're
need
not
your permission.
supporting
And
her.
no, Donald, you're
All
not
you're
supporting
doing,
her.
all you're
You're
doing
not
is
supporting
tearing
her.
us down. That's your mo. So for your
I'm not
channel,
going to have a yelling match with you.
I'm not either.
What I'm
What
trying
the
to
fuck
say
going
is,
on, man?
how are you supporting her? Right now, they're wanting
How
to
am I
bring cold case.
supporting her?
They're
I'm
wanting to bring in the cold case files. Why don't you let it come in and help find your daughter?
Who's the Cold Case Foundation?
Who's the Cold Case Foundation? Don, this to me shows that you are either drunk or have dementia or just being an asshole at this point. Who's the Cold Case Foundation? The thing that you was talking to Josh and Chris about the other day, the thing that you had already said no to, who's the Cold Case Foundation? The one that's knocking at your door trying to offer you their services and you're not doing crap about it. Pretty much the same as you've not done crap about anything for the last 2 years. Who's the Cold Case Foundation? Really? Yes, exactly. Who's the Cold Case Foundation? Oh, I don't know. Like you literally just had a conversation with Chris and Josh the other night about it, and you had talked about it prior to that as well. I mean, does he not think that people like don't watch other channels, or like why would he say something like that? He knows who the Cold Case Foundation is. To me, I'll be honest with you, the last couple weeks in particular, I feel like Don, particularly, and Candace are done. They are done with it. Now, Don and Candace have had, they've had multiple kids, particularly Candace, you know, had at least two other children, not including the four, Summer and the three boys. So she has been able to say bye to children for quite a long time. She gave them up. And to me, it's just like they're not even interested anymore. Not even interested. When Don was in jail, Candace said, "It's time for me to put Summer behind and focus on the boys." That's one thing you should never hear a parent say ever, not even 20 years later, because you can do both. You can do both. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. Now, Don is saying, move on. It's been 2 years. Although I do hear that that stream was deleted and or privated, or I would show you that. So we now know that Don and Candace, not what we've been feeling for the past 2 years, but literally both uttered from their own lips, have said, time to move on. Both of them. Different times, different places. but they've both said it. And this is why so many of us, day in and day out, always will stand up for Summer Wells, because she didn't have parents to do that for them. Now, the boys, they have someone to stand up for them now. Thank God. But I also think that Dawn and Candace are finally knowing that their court date is now this month. It's May. It's coming right up. Their court. They're most likely, allegedly, probably, maybe, most likely, going to lose all of their rights. And then, in my opinion, what I think is going to happen, the ball is going to start rolling. Justice is coming. Full force. Pedal to the metal. It's time to roll. And that is what we have been waiting on. And we're not going to stop until that little girl has justice. Mark my words.
The Cold Case Foundation is wanting to help you find your daughter.
God, I
Why
haven't
are
heard
we-
from them. I haven't heard from
There's Jody Sue in there. Hey, Jody Sue. She kicked his ass last night. I died.
them.
what
And if they were so great, then why doesn't TBI or FBI recommend them or something like that to us?
I understand that you guys are refusing them.
No, we're not refusing them. We don't even know who the fuck they are. So how
Okay,
can
so
we refuse somebody we don't even know who the fuck they are?
Is that the kind of language you would use if someone was trying to help find your daughter? We don't even know who the F they are. God, sounds so good, Don. Sounds so good. Class act.
okay, so
We're
what
just now,
what,
we're just
what
now
you're
hearing
telling,
about it.
oh, so what you're telling me is
This is
that
all new to us. This is
what
all brand new to us.
so
This is
basically someone put that out there before you guys knew about it and tried to say that you weren't cooperating.
that's
But
the truth. Yeah, that is the truth. Yeah.
okay, well that's wrong. That's
Damn, you
wrong.
told the truth for once. Oh
That's
no, you're gonna back out. You're gonna back out. Okay, my bad.
No, I'm not going to back out of anything. That's the truth. You're
Do you
right. I shouldn't have done
do you know, Prayer Gardens, how many people have said they was gonna help us, like yourself, and then fucked us in our ass and in every fucking which way from Sunday and tore us apart? Do you know how many people have done that to us?
that. And Donald, for one, I didn't.
Do you know how many you have done that to, Don and Candace, as well? You know how many people you've done that to? Most importantly, all of your children. All of your children. I was talking to a couple of my mods this morning after I dropped my kids off at school, and we were talking about the little boy, the littlest boy, I don't want to use names, of Don and Candace's. And he's not very verbal. And they say that out of all of them, allegedly, he is the most traumatized. And I can just see the little picture of him, and it makes me madder than hell to know that those Don and Candace sick individuals damaged the hell out of these kids. Shame on you. You don't break a kid's spirit. It's the most evil thing you can do. You don't break their spirit. No matter what has happened to you, Don or Candace. You don't do that. And I just literally wanted to sob this morning thinking about it. That little boy. God knows what these kids have seen. God only knows. I can tell you Candace's previous kids. I know some of the things they have seen. And no wonder their spirit was broke.
Mess you over. I have constantly been trying to get you to come up, talk without screaming at me and fighting with me, and cooperate with what's going on, so that we could check off the things like the cold
Well,
case,
here I
you
am.
know,
Here I am.
and like you said, that got put out here and you didn't even have any idea, you wasn't able to say yes to it or no to it because you didn't know about it. And the way you found out was an ugly way, was in an ugly way, because people said you were turning it down when indeed you weren't. You just wanted
We,
someone to.
we're checking it out right now, and then plus we
Oh,
have we have
that's
to
good.
clear it through TV.
As you can hear Candace slurring, screaming in the background, um, I'm assuming she's trying to speak English. However, she has a lot to always say in the background. She'll never come up on a panel and speak out for her missing daughter. She'll write a letter when the news literally shows up at her door. She'll write a letter. Um, she'll scream in the background. But unless you're treating her like a child and saying, bless your heart, Candace, bless your heart, she's not going to talk to you. I feel like you're interrogating me. You know what? If you're innocent, interrogate the fuck out of me. Go for it. Because after 2 years, Don and Candace, if you say you're innocent, I would be damned. I would say, clear me. Demand that they clear you if you're innocent. But they won't. They won't, in my opinion. But go down there. Go downtown. Go to Hawkins County. Call TBI and say, clear me. All these people are, you know, honest, talking about us for the last 2 years. I want to be cleared. Clear. Listen. Demand it. If you are innocent, demand it. But I bet you won't.
VR and FBI and stuff like that.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. That's good. That's good.
And we have to. We got to be a lot more careful than we've ever had. We've been
Well,
through.
hey, that's a big step forward. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. I'm
Right.
glad to hear you're getting ready to work with them, and that makes a big difference.
I'm not saying that I am. I'm just saying we're going to check them out and we're going to do whatever, whatever we're going to do whatever we can for our daughter. Of course we are.
I would love to let Candace up, but she is not in the back. She's not waiting to come up. Candace is in the background with Donald. If Candace
Well,
wanted to come on
she's
panel, I would welcome her on panel. So please stop, acting like she's in my, in the back waiting to come up because she's not, or
she's
like
on
I'm not trying to let her come up. That's not true.
she's
So
on another she's on another live right now.
she is on another live right now. So,
And I
um,
don't and I really I don't know if it's a good idea at this point, to be honest with you.
but that's good, Donald, that you guys are at least going to give it consideration. I'm
Of
glad to hear that. For
course,
some sake,
of course.
I am glad to hear that.
I would do anything.
Now, I want to ask another question I want to ask another question that, somebody that's going around out here as well. They said that you said in Miss Daisy's chat that you gave up on Summer a long time ago. Did you say that?
Why would I say something like that? That don't even make sense.
Okay.
First of all, he's lying. And everyone in the chat said, PG, he's lying. PG, he's lying. PG, he's lying. Now, you know, I don't think PG wanted to press him too hard because things had kind of calmed down with her and him. So I think PG was just giving him an opportunity to be honest, and he didn't take it. Um, so there was your chance, Donald. But don't you hear the lack of concern in his voice, the lack of caring whatsoever? Why would I do something like that? You know. And the other night, in my opinion, on Josh's, when Dawn and Brandy was up there, Brandy graciously came up. She was at work, but she, took a minute off and came up there. Dawn was incredibly disingenuous, just completely act like he was just in a hurry, didn't want to be bothered. Kumbaya, we're praying for you, which is, nice and all that. But the two you can hear in someone's voice if they're interested or not. And Brandy had emotion in her voice. She voice was shaking. There was hurt. There was raw emotion in her voice. And she has stood by the cops, the police, the detectives since day one. Talks to him every day. You can't even get Don and Candace to pay 33 cents a day for each child. So you can't even get them to pay like literally 99 cents a day for their 3 children. So, it is what it is. You're just proving our point, Don.
See, I didn't know if you did or not because I wasn't there, and I wasn't there. So,
I was
that's something else that we can check off the list, right? That's two things we can check off the list. Now, I want everybody to understand that Donald did not know. He did not know about the cold case people wanting to get involved with his daughter's case. Somebody was out there spreading that, oh, the Wells don't want the help. They've been told about the help and they weren't trying to get no help. No, he didn't know until that came out. And then he's like, what the hell? Right? What the hell's going on? And now he knows that, there is such a place there that can help the family, help the victim. He is well aware of it. He is going to look into it and possibly allow them to help out in Summer's case.
Right.
So that's where we are right now. Him and Candace
Exactly.
are checking it out and thinking of going with it. He did not say in Miss Daisy's chat, from what he's saying, he did not say that he gave up on his daughter a long time ago. He said, why the hell would he say something like that? So let's check that off the list. You just
Well,
heard
thank you.
he didn't
Thank
do it.
you. I hope you can hear me. My Bluetooth died. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, Donald.
My
Um,
Bluetooth died.
did you guys sell Kathy a Subaru? She's saying that you sold her a Subaru. Did that happen?
No, but she.
Okay, here it is. I'm showing like I missed a super chat or something earlier on my end. Mods, if I did, please let me know because it's showing that I did, but I can't find it. Um, I always want to appreciate people for supporting us. So right here, the Prayer Garden is saying Subaru. She meant Suburban. Um, and so when she's saying that, she's meaning Suburban, not Subaru. Um, so that is that. Now, Kathy did buy the Suburban while Don was in jail. Candace sold it. Candace needed money, right? Now, this makes the second time Don has said the Suburban, that Candace took the Suburban that day. He said there was always clothes in the back, bathing suits in the back. Now, this has been changing the last little bit, and I wonder why. Because when Don was talking to Josh and Chris from the lab, Chris asked, now you took the Subaru to work that day. And Don made sure, well clear, a couple times he said it, that he took the Subaru the day before. So I want to know, and he made sure to say that, no, I took the Subaru the day before. So what vehicle did you take on June 15th, Don? Things are starting to change here. The vehicles are starting to turn around, and I don't know why the story's changing, but it is. We don't know what vehicle Don took on June 15th. We know he took the Subaru the day before. Um, and now we're talking about the Suburban, who that's what the one that Candace always had clothes in the back for summer. Now, the morning of June 15th, if Candace took, Grandis to um, the hospital, I can't imagine Candace just, putting a bathing suit on underneath Summer's clothes and just going out the door because they had no idea that they were really going swimming at that point or fishing. And Allie and H says that they never changed her, or was it Allie or Candace said that they changed her at Allie's house? And then one said it's completely untrue. That never happened. So it's a lot.
She's welcome to buy that
Listen to
piece of
this
shit.
close.
Oh, so she did not buy it.
No, but she can buy it if she wants to.
Is it in your position or is it in hers?
It's in my name.
But is she driving it? I mean, is it at her
Yeah,
own?
yeah. We still she drives it.
And why would you allow that after she's came out and turned on you? Because if she was to wreck it or she was to damage it or they were to do something that would be, you don't want to.
You know what I'm starting to think? You know what I'm starting to think? I think that Grandis drove herself there that morning to the hospital. If she went, I think she drove herself there. And I think Candace was at the house and then was talking to H. And, they went to the watering hole. I don't know if Grandis was ever at that watering hole, to be honest with you. I don't think she was ever at that watering hole. I think they were both in the same town at the same time, but Grandis was maybe at the hospital and Candace was with Hunter and Summer. But I think there was two different vehicles, and somehow maybe Grandis maybe came to the watering hole because the people at the watering hole said that one of the vehicle was set there almost all day long. Well, we know they weren't there all day long. In fact, Candace says they were there 20 minutes, which I'm sorry, you're not going to put a kid in the water and get wet for just 20 minutes. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So something is wrong here. Something is wrong here. We are not being told everything. I can tell you that, in my opinion.
Go back to jail.
Well, it's got full coverage insurance.
And that may be so, but you still don't want to get in no trouble. I mean, if full coverage insurance don't cover somebody if they're drinking or if they're intoxicated with
Well,
any.
nothing like that's happening. She never ever drinks and drives or anything like that. Ever. Hell no.
Well,
That never happened.
I'm just saying that be careful. You better. The law always warns us to not let people have vehicles. Have vehicles that are in our names, letting other people have possession of them. Because if something does happen, we are liable. That's
That's
all.
true. That's true.
So if she does not isn't buying it or she doesn't own it, then you might want to consider, you know, not going out there with the hate between you guys right now. I don't think you want to go out there and try to get it yourself, but take law enforcement, meet law enforcement there, and get your vehicle, get the rest of your guys' belongings and all of your stuff.
Right.
That
Right.
it would be a good idea to go collect the rest of all of your guys' things that are there,
Right.
right? And sever the ties between you right now. If things get better down the road, great, but right now you really need to get law enforcement to show up there with you, give you a time they can meet you there. You and Candace need to go there, and you need to get whatever is there that belongs to you guys,
Absolutely.
including the Subaru.
Well, we
um
have the Subaru. You talking about the Suburban, the new
yeah, you're
half
right.
gas?
Yes, the Suburban, I'm
Oh well,
sorry.
Okay, Dawn knew what she was talking about, and most people did too. She just got confused with the names, I guess. So, um, Now listen to what Dawn says about what happened that day with the Suburban. Now, this is the second stream Dawn has said this in that I'm aware of. He may have said it in others. I don't follow him everywhere he goes, but uh, he talks about the Suburban.
That was
I'm
that
sorry.
was that was sold to her fair and square. Okay,
Oh,
Candace
so
was, yeah.
you did sell her the
I didn't. Candace sold it to her because she was hurting for money really bad. You know.
okay, so you did sell her the Suburban.
Yeah, Candace sold the
Oh, I'm
Suburban
sorry.
to
I'm
Miss
sorry.
Candace.
I was getting the two cars mixed up.
Yeah,
Okay, so
right.
the Subaru is, or the Suburban is hers. Now, in the
Yeah.
back of the Suburban was the box and a bunch of tools in the back of there that after you
No,
sold it to her she
no,
claimed.
not at all.
And
She,
why is that being said?
I have no idea.
I
Don't
mean,
you know?
they're acting like what 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 we're being led to believe, Donald. And yeah, I know that you love to, throw stones like hell at me. But I have to go off of what these people that have been on your land and around you guys and stuff. We have to go off of what these people are telling out there, right? The
No,
same thing
not right. Not
the
right.
same thing law enforcement goes off of. Um, so
No, I don't believe. No,
here's
I
my thing.
disagree with that.
And here's my thing. The people are being led by by Kathy and them that how she got the possession of that box was uh you had a bunch of tools back in there that you had
No,
forgotten, and that box was hidden among them. And when she opened it, oh my goodness, it was a box for Summer, and it had the jacket that Candace and you and everybody had led everyone to believe Summer was wearing that day.
well, I'm the one that made the mistake on that probably
Okay.
because I assumed that that was the last picture, and I remember saying that that was the last picture that we have of Summer when she was asleep on the milk jug.
Now, I want to say that technically we don't 100% know that that is the last photo of Summer, because the TBI or the FBI, or not the TBI or Hawkins County, have never said that that was the last photo of Summer. They have never used that photo, and they have never claimed that that was the last photo of Summer. That is, we are taking Dawn and Candace's word that that is the last photo of Summer. So there's that as well. Um,
And I assumed that, that's probably what she was wearing. But after
Right.
talking to Candace, she took the jacket off because it
Right.
was hot. It was June 15th,
Mhm.
late in the evening, hot. She wouldn't be wearing that jacket, no way. It's hot in Eastern Tennessee.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so she probably set the jacket aside somewhere or whatever. And
I
so
agree.
after talking to Candace, she had a pink shirt and the same sweatpants, I think, the gray sweatpants or whatever. But
Now, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it was too cold for Candace to be taking that baby swimming on June the 15th." Well,
not in Eastern
I
Tennessee.
no, I beg the difference because
I don't think it was too cold. I think it was too hot, to be honest. I mean, not too hot to go, it's never too hot to go swimming, but I think it's too hot for there to be all of this bundle of blankets and all of that. Someone wrote in a comment section when this happened last night, Candace said Summer was asleep until they got home and jumped, and that's when she said Summer jumped right up, right? Once they got home. How would she have taken the jacket 10 minutes before getting home, how would you have taken that jacket off while she was sleeping and then took that picture and then she jumped right up and got home? It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So, hey Trev, good to see you, buddy. So, you know, Daisy, could you ask her that if you don't mind, if you're watching? Uh, ask her about how she removed this coat and this layers, of clothes and all of that. And I can't imagine, because your words, not ours, you said that y'all don't like air conditioning. And you've got H and Summer sitting in the back of a car in early summer in eastern Tennessee while y'all are inside, and she's supposedly bundled up with all of this stuff in a car? No, it doesn't fit. It's not logical. Usually, it's the most simple of answers. What makes the most sense? And this doesn't. Your story makes no sense whatsoever.
As I can
Yeah.
tell you, right now, we're barely going into May and it's hot as hell. Matter of fact, you would welcome a big pool of water right now on some days. Some days are chilly, but a lot of days are super hot, and you would love to be out there swimming.
Well, I
So,
mean, you can see from that video, the last video, where she was in the water and she wasn't cold. She
right.
was playing in the water and everything. I guarantee you, it was toasty warm that day. I
And
remember, yeah, it was hot. I remember that at work that day. It was hot.
oh yeah, it was definitely a sweater that
And
day.
at that lake, in the shallow water, it's definitely warm. I've swam in there, and you go out into deep water, and it gets colder as you get out of the deeper water. But in the shallow water, it's warm.
Right, right. That's true. Very, very true. Um, and there's a big uproar out there as well, where Hunter's saying, "Oh, Candace brought Summer to the house."
Sorry. Um, I was muted. So I was saying this to Rosa Sharon. So Candace said that she put new clothes, dry clothes, on Summer after the watering hole. So that I get it. You're cold when you first jump in water, and you're cold when you first get out. It's the change of the body temperature, but the body quickly warms up. It adjusts, particularly once you get dry clothes on. And then after, she says that she put dry clothes on Summer. So I can't imagine her sitting in the back watching TikTok videos with H, no air conditioning blowing on them because they don't use it, and sitting in the back of a car for 30 minutes with a jacket on It doesn't make sense. You're not going, I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
house, took her into the bathroom, changed her. And Candace said, no, that didn't happen. I um, Summer was wearing her bathing suit. You know, she was wearing her bathing suit from the house that morning, and I had planned to take her fishing or swimming, and therefore, she was already wearing what she was going to be wearing. Um, so my question is, you know, um, does
So that doesn't make sense either. You were going to take just Summer swimming that day. Nobody else. Nobody else. Whenever we see in all of these photos, because you guys played around the water a lot with the kids, right? You never see just one child. You see all of them together at all times. Why this day did you take one of your children? There's plenty of photos out there of them swimming in their pool at the house, in creeks and lakes, jumping off rocks. Why this day? It doesn't make sense that you take one of your children, leave three at home, and take another child who is a significantly older child than Summer, and you just knew you were going to be swimming that day or fishing, but then swimming. But then you was also going to go to another water park that evening, yet you all never went to that water park because why? It wasn't, the call didn't come in until 6:30. You're going to go to a water park way before 6 o'clock.
that still stand for Candace? Does that still stand that Hunter lied about that particular comment that he made?
I have no idea on that. I really don't know. I don't know.
Um, with her being in your background, could you ask her?
Well, I had to go out to the truck to charge my Bluetooth and my phone.
This is interesting. This really kind of ticked me off right here. Don's, PG asked if he could ask Candace the question. She was yapping her mouth just a moment ago, and now all of a sudden he can't. He has to go out and plug his phone into the car. Because I guess questions don't really matter. About his missing daughter, because I would want any clarity to go out if I had a missing child. Honey, what happened that day? You know. But he wouldn't ask it. Gonna slightly.
Candace said, no, that didn't happen. I Summer was wearing her bathing suit. You know, she was wearing her bathing suit from the house that morning, and I had planned to take her fishing or swimming, and therefore, she was already wearing what she was going to be wearing. Um, so my question is, you know, um, does that still stand for Candace? Does that still stand that Hunter lied about that particular comment that he made?
I have no idea on that. I really don't know. I don't know.
Um, with her being in your background, could you ask her?
Well, I had to go out to the truck to charge my Bluetooth and my phone because
Okay.
everything's dying on me. I'm
Okay.
not with her right now.
I understand that. Um, did you ever ask Candace, or do you know where Summer was, where she changed Summer into the clothes that Summer was actually wearing in that last video?
Usually, whenever we went out to the lake together,
Mm-hmm.
she'll have extra clothes in the Suburban and stuff.
Right.
Boom. She'll have extra clothes in the Suburban. In the Suburban. You said they took grandma's truck, right? And he's also changing it that about the Subaru. He's saying I took the Subaru the day before. He's not telling us what vehicle he took the day Summer went missing. But he talks about the Suburban. We always kept clothes in the back of the Suburban. That would mean that either Candace dressed Summer before they left the house, or she took the Suburban and there was clothes in the back at all times, which means you didn't take grandma's truck. Girls, comment, please. Okay. I'm looking for it. I don't see it. I see you. Okay, here we go. JSB was Candace Wells present, pardon me, present on the hill when law enforcement arrived. Dispatcher said the neighbors have been looking. Check the house again, even if it was already checked. FOS said 10-4. Jody Sue Brown was Candace Wells present on the hill when law enforcement arrived. Dispatcher said the neighbors have been looking. Check the house again, even if you have already checked. FOS 10-4. You know, it just kind of makes you wonder. Um, was Candace, running around doing her thing, and did an accident happen?
And we'll change her as soon as they get out of the water because that's when they're coldest when they get out of the water.
Right.
And we'll change them into some warm clothing. And I assume, when she put her in the seat and everything, and on the ride home, that's when she fell asleep, wore out from swimming and having a good day.
So, is there
You
like
know,
a bath? Is there like a bathroom at that pond where you could take
there,
the kid
there,
and change it?
there is a bathroom up there. Yes.
Okay, so that's probably where she went to change Summer out of her
No,
jumpsuit
no,
into.
she would just change her in the Suburban more than likely, rather than walking all the way up the hill to the bathroom.
The Suburban. The Suburban. He probably changed her in the Suburban, more than likely. I mean, this is the thing. Do you not know what even car your wife took that day nearly 2 years later? Have you not asked? Have you not sat down and, you know, or do you just want to cause confusion, more confusion?
Okay, so she just went ahead and changed her. Um, so
In the
she was
Suburban,
driving. She was
probably.
driving your Suburban that day, or Granda's?
Yes.
I thought they were
Oh,
driving
wait.
Granda's
No, wait, wait,
vehicle.
wait. I'm wrong. I think she was driving her mother's truck, right?
Right. That's what I.
Oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait. Boom. He got caught again. Got caught again. This makes the second time he has said that they took the Suburban that I'm aware of. Cut again. Yes. PG was like, but you said they took the truck.
Hey, that's what I
Yeah.
heard.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry. I probably got that wrong then. I'm
Right,
just thinking when back a lot of times we took the Suburban out there. Uh,
right. And when you guys did that, she just went ahead and changed her into Suburban.
right.
Um, right. So she did then take the wet bag and suit off of Summer that day and put on clean, dry clothes.
Of course. Absolutely.
Okay. That's that's what a lot of people.
Right. Yeah. She's a really good mother and she loves her kids. She's going to do everything she can to make them comfortable. I mean, honestly.
Somebody, Lady Q says you all said these clothes were summer school clothes, but H says different.
Yeah. I have no idea. I know we had her registered for school. We took her to the school. There's many days. I even took off a few days to go to the school with the boys, and
Right.
got to spend days up there. And she got to hang out, and she just loved it. She was
Oh,
scared
yeah.
to start school, but
Hmm.
them days we went up there to spend with our boys, she just loved it, and she just got along with everybody like she always has. I mean, she
And
just
she would have been in school like she was at church. She
right. Oh yeah.
she was
Oh
a
yeah.
regular little social butterfly at church, and she would have
Yes.
become that
Absolutely.
way at school as well, right?
Guaranteed. Yes.
Who sold whose soda was the orange soda on the seat?
I have no idea. I don't know. Probably one of
Now,
her kids, one of the boys or something.
Where is that bathing suit? Where's the bathing suit, Don and Candace? You obviously know where it is. If you took it off of her, you obviously have it. If you haven't given it to TBI or Hawkins County, and from what everyone's saying, that you haven't given it to them. So why? Don will talk about it.
I don't know.
Candace said it belonged to Grandis.
That
Candace said
could be.
that was Grandis's orange soda, and she had given it to Summer, um, because she didn't want it any longer. She let Summer have it. That
Possibly. I have no
that
idea.
I remember that's what Candace has said.
Okay.
So, I wish Candace would have came up on panel because it would make it easier for Candace to address these questions so that people could start getting the story straight out here.
Well,
And
I'd like to.
that's
I'd like.
all anybody wants, Donald. We just want
Well, I get that,
cooperation.
and yeah, and I would like to see her do that too. But
We
she's
just
been
want, we just want
attacked.
cooperation. We don't want to fight or anything like that.
Right.
We just want to be able to check off all of these rumors and everything. We just want to check
Right.
them off the list and
And
say,
that's
hey,
fine. And that's
you
fine.
know,
But
this
there
this
is a line that we can't cross.
well,
We
I
got
know you guys
we,
cannot
we,
talk
we,
about
we
the
gotta
boys.
we gotta be careful because there's a very good chance that the one who took someone is watching all this stuff and probably laughing his ass off, or her ass, or whoever.
Um,
I don't know.
you
Um,
know, if why do you think that Ronnie Lawson came out and said, um uh there is no sign of an abduction. There's no signs of an
um,
abduction. What
right.
makes you what
He said exactly that there's no evidence that there's
or
then
signs of an
and
abduction?
then
Why do you think
Because there's absolutely no signs of an abduction. The card team, a 95% success rate. They were there and they were like, guys, there's no sign of an abduction here. They have a 95% success rate of bringing a child home. or recovery, right? It doesn't mean alive, it just means a success rate of finding the child. Very, very specialized, a handful of people. This is all they do every day. Trained, and they say there is no sign of an abduction at all.
He would say something like
That's
that.
that's a very good question, and that's always really
Hey,
upset me.
yeah,
A
I was going
lot.
to ask, how did that make you feel?
It really upset me. That he would say something like that, and I don't know
Did
why he
you
did that. I don't know
did you
why.
feel? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just don't know why Huckus County hasn't had our back throughout all this. But that's just Ronnie Lawson, because there's some people in Hawkins County, like some of the police. I can't think of their names right off the top of my head, but some of the police that are there and stuff like that actually do have our backs. There's a lot
Right.
of good people in Hawkins County, actually.
Did
But
you feel? Did you feel like Ronnie was, kind of? I mean, did you feel like Ronnie was kind of like um pointing a finger or trying or throwing
I felt like
blame
that,
or
yeah.
suspicion upon you, Grandis and Candace?
Yes, I felt like that. Absolutely, yes. I
And
don't know why he done that.
and 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 what see and you with you being understanding of that and having that feeling, then you have to be able to understand, you know when long that's how we felt that they were doing as well, right?
Right, I
and
do.
then
I
and
do.
then
A
and then
lot of
that
people.
makes us feel like,
Right,
oh wow, this is law enforcement, and
right.
I mean, if they're
Yes,
claiming that these people are number one suspects, then
right.
are we to believe, right?
Yep, and that's how it went exactly. And a lot of yes, absolutely.
So,
That's exactly
you
how it
can't
went.
really come out here and hate on us or be
That's
angry
true.
with what we're
That's
saying,
true.
and that's
That's
why.
And PG's right about that. You can't come out here and hate on us. And Don's like, that's true. But yet, if you Palm Patrol, way, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, my love. Appreciate you. But yet, when you ask Don, Candace the hard questions, it's I don't know, I don't remember, or they start yelling, or you're not their friend. Nobody's here to be your friend. Nobody. We're creators. We are here to put the message out. That is what we are here for. We're not here to be your friend. We're here for the victim. That's the way it should be, at least.
Why I've
absolutely.
been trying to get you and Candace out here, to clear these things up. And when you don't,
I have to give you that. That is true.
and when
That
you
is
and
facts.
when you guys are fighting me and you don't want to come out and clear up and clear up things for Summer's sake,
Well, we want to.
and
It's just that there's so
and
much
then
noise. We want
then
to. We want
right,
to.
I well,
It,
you
it,
need to if
well,
you
and I
want
agree with that.
support, if you want to support for your daughter and you don't want us, us believing and thinking, and getting the same impression that you yourself was getting from, you know, law enforcement and their, choice of words, then that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what their choice of words are. If you came out and explained that, uh,
Right.
that those words were the wrong choice of words and it wasn't like that, and hey, you've got questions, let me answer them for you, then people could say, well, damn, and Don and Candace is cooperating, we don't understand why law enforcement is saying these things, but when the law enforcement is saying those kind of things, and then you guys are really pissed at us and angry with us
Right.
and not willing to work with us, then we would say, well, wow, they're not working with us no more than
That's exactly right. We're just talking about the information you give us, but then you change the information. It's constantly changing. Thank you for my Diet Coke fund, Easy. Thank you. Or Diet Pepsi, actually. Diet Pepsi. Thank you. Appreciate it, my love.
that, like law enforcement saying ain't working with them either. And
Right.
then you got a mess out here. And you
Right.
just got a whole lot of hate. And I'm not trying to hate on you, Candace, Grandis, or anybody else, you know, at all.
So
I'm
that
just
so that
I'm
kind of
just wanting things to be cleared up. We got questions, and I'm just wanting to answer to those questions and all the questions that Summers Army has behind me, right?
okay. That sounds good. It makes sense. And on that same coin, we can't be mad at law enforcement either because they was thinking the same things that that everybody else was, and we've we've all been down that road. I even remember questioning to myself at one point because there was so much stuff going on. I was like, am I losing my damn mind or what? But
Right. I have, sometimes I have, thoughts upon certain things, that I would like to ask you and Candace, sometimes, and you're not there to ask. You're, fighting and arguing with me so
I'll
much.
do the best I can. You know what?
But,
I'll do the best I can.
I like to know who your five main suspects are. I mean, for real, like your five main suspects.
Well, my main suspect at first for a long time was Dudley because he
Right.
just had some kind of hate for me, and I didn't understand why. Because I didn't do nothing but try to do him right, and
So notice how obviously Don has blamed everyone multiple times. He doesn't, in my opinion, take it seriously whenever it is just who comes to the top of his mind at any given time. So right now he says his number one suspect is Dudley. That's going to quickly change once Jody Sue gets on there and tells him off. Don does not like a strong, specific woman telling him anything. He can't take it. And boy, you're going to hear it in just a minute. Jody Sue delivers. He's got a bruised ego today. He's got to be sore from the ass whipping he took verbally last night.
I couldn't understand why he done what he done. But then you got to put the drug factor in there. Um, you know,
I
it,
remember you saying that he was showing up um,
yeah,
at work, spaced out, and
well, yeah. When
doing
you're on drugs,
Drugs has nothing to do with kidnapping. I mean, you can be a kidnapper or a child P and do drugs, but just because um, Dudley, you know, does drugs doesn't mean he took Summer. And I am positive that the TBI, Hawkins County, has looked over Dudley with a fine tooth comb. And I don't see someone being fired one day and the next day their daughter goes missing. That is something that would be rather obvious. And it appears that the TBI and the TBI in Hawkins County, um, I don't think they're focused on Dudley, in my opinion. I think if Dudley was to do something, he wouldn't do it the next day. He would give it time.
you're just not in your right mind when you're on drugs, and he was obviously
Right.
on drugs. Um, and I can't have that on the job. But so I fired him, and next day Summer come up missing, and he done everything he could, and tried to twist everything with my bosses and everything. So my bosses was questioning what I was doing, or whether I was telling the truth, or was he telling the truth.
Right.
You know,
Right. I
so
understand that.
right, but that was my main suspect for a long time. But next to that is all the drug traffic coming into our area. I just can't help but think that some methed out person that was coming back there to get drugs at some point at that time of the evening would have been a good time. And or now we just
Because you had
don't know.
because you had what dealers in there, like you had like Fred Hill that hangs around with a lot of undesirables people,
Well, right, exactly.
and you had Andy and them hanging with some undesirable people.
Well, we had, Andy was selling drugs. I'm not trying to get him in trouble or saying he was selling hard drugs, because I don't know that.
He already admitted, that he did. I mean,
Okay.
that's nothing
So,
big.
so there were people, there was traffic for him, and there was traffic for Fred Hill right there.
Remember, Don, you were the one that said you have seen things happen to children in California. Remember that? So, did you do anything about that? Did you report it? And what would, why would you be around those types of people? You know, the saying, it takes one to know one. Um, how do you even get around those type of people? You know what I mean? It's like, what led you to be around those types of people that you said was doing horrible things to kids?
You know, that's quite a bit of
And,
traffic.
and you're right. Um, you're right. I mean, I, I came from undesirable um areas as well, and I know that these people can pop up any time of the day. Um,
Right.
this is true. They're not
Well,
limited to nighttime or, early hours in the morning, as in 1, 2,
absolutely.
3 p.m. These are people that show up at 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. They show up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and some show up at 3, 4 in the evening. That's true,
We've had people parked in our driveway like 5 in the morning, sitting there doing drugs
right?
and different things. Like that picture I took of that little S10 Chevrolet. Them people were definitely messed out. He went down the hill and high centered on that hill. Them people were way messed out. The police let me take them pictures, and I'm the one that put them out there.
Jody Sue's in the chat. She says there was no company or traffic, our house, you effing liar. Um, Jody,
Whatever.
would you like to?
Donald's laughing now, but he won't be laughing in just a moment. He won't be laughing. So, pop your popcorn, get a drink, and get comfortable because it's going to fly.
Take a link and come up, you are more than welcome. I mean, if you want to, if you want to dispute that with Don Wells,
Come on up, Jody Sue.
yes, we would like to see you do that. I mean, he's right here, he's on panel, you know, and he's calling you up. So at right now, at this particular moment, I think the ball's in Don's corner, because if you don't come up, and if you ain't willing to come up and
That will change very quickly. The ball will soon be in Jody Sue's corner.
face him
Quickly.
and and
She
let
just
him
wants
know.
to say all kinds of stuff, behind people's backs. She don't actually want to come up here and speak the truth.
I would love to hear her come up
I would too.
know, and be able to tell you, to your face that that's not truth. I mean, I know I would. If
Hey, I'm
someone's
not the
lying
one.
on
I'm
me,
not
I'm
the
going to
one.
pop right up and let them know,
Hey, I didn't say.
right?
I mean, you said prayer gardens that they said that there was traffic or that I don't know.
Andy did say that he did sell I drugs.
All I
He did
know is he sold weed. I mean, that's all
weed.
I
Yeah,
know because
that's what he said. He
we
said weed.
bought weed from him a few times, and I don't really see nothing wrong with that. And that's all good. No big deal. There's nothing wrong with weed, but when you start messing with meth and other stuff that messes with your mind really bad, and especially
Um,
amphetamines,
Don-
it,
Donald, I want to ask another question.
yeah,
Um, if Candace and you guys had the jacket that day, why was us now? From my understandings, from what I'm hearing through the grapevine, Kathy said that Candace told her that they gave law enforcement and the search team, a sock
that's not true because I was
to
there at that time.
to 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 find Summer with, and not that jacket.
Who
Did,
said that
what,
again?
that's what
Kathy?
Kathy said.
Well, that
That's
just goes to show that Kathy's a big liar right there because I was there and I know exactly what happened. And
okay.
I'll
So
tell
did
you
the
exactly what happened. The first
okay.
thing they brought in a
How can you remember some things, Don, but you can't remember times of other, things that would potentially incriminate you? Uh, how can you not remember those times, but you can specifically remember that? It's a question.
forensic team, okay? And
Okay.
they packed up all her dirty clothes out of the laundry, and they wanted some of her toys that she most recently played with and stuff like that. And they bagged it all up. And when the search dog got there, they they took like some of her clothing. I'm thinking like some short pants, like or whatever. I mean, I can't exactly remember what it was, but it wasn't no damn sock. And
Okay.
but so they took it out of the bag, let the dog sniff it, and that dog went straight from the back basement door straight down the dog trail. Well, I sit there and watched it with my own eyes.
Now,
Hmm.
the shorts that is that you, Jody Sue? Okay, sweetie, you can turn the camera off. Um, Listen, Don, the shorts that that law enforcement was handed, was those the shorts that went with the jacket that she was wearing that day? I mean, when the
Well,
jacket was too hot, did she change out of the shorts as well? I mean, did she completely change, or did
I don't
she
think
just take
so.
off the jacket?
I think after she got it, as far as what I know about my wife, when they get out of the swimming hole, she will put all dry clothes on her.
Right.
And
Really?
so the gray
Really?
pants
That's
she was
where
wearing or whatever, you know, but they wanted all her dirty laundry out of the laundry, and
right.
that's what they packed up, and they still have today.
How come the jacket wasn't given to him?
I can't answer that question because I wasn't there. I mean, it probably just in all the confusion and everything else, and all the questions and everything going on. I would just say that it was probably overlooked. Honestly, you know, ain't nobody trying to hide anything. We're trying to find our daughter. We ain't trying to hide
I
anything.
don't have you muted, PG, or I PG has me muted. I don't have you muted, sweetheart. Jody Sue, we can hear you.
All right. Do you care to kind of just Let me and Don talk for a second, PG.
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead.
All right, guys. So here it starts. Round one. Round one. Here we go. All right.
All right. Don, you know you're a liar. I know you're a liar. I've
About
known
what?
you've been a liar the entire time we've lived beside one another for years.
Man, you've
I
been
didn't
nothing
care about
but
any of it.
lying,
I was cool.
talking
No,
shit
you're
out
not
your
going to do
mouth.
me like
You're
you
the
do
biggest
everybody else,
lying cunt
buddy.
I ever heard in my fucking life. Fuck you, Jody
I'm
Sue.
telling you,
Fuck off, you
you
dumb
know, and
bitch.
I know you just
Fuck
lied. The
you, you
traffic
dumb
wasn't
bitch.
at
Get
our
the
house.
fuck off here. Man,
No,
fuck
I'm
you.
telling you,
You're the
and you
biggest
know it.
dumb bitch I ever
No,
seen in my
look at
life.
you being an
Fuck
abuser.
off.
Look at you being
You're
an abuser.
stupid, man.
Bitch, I ain't
Fuck you.
Candace.
Man,
I ain't
fuck off.
Candace, and I ain't some little girl
I'm
going,
not
stop,
talking to you,
daddy.
Bitch Garden.
Stop, daddy.
Fuck
Stop,
you, bitch.
daddy. Right?
PG. I can't
Right?
talk to this dumb bitch.
Yeah, because you
Fuck
can't
you,
talk
lying
all over
bitch.
me. Because
You're
you
a
can't
liar.
fucking abuse me. And because you're a goddamn liar.
You're a fucking lying
Yeah.
bitch. You're fucking
Yeah, right.
insane.
You see, Don's not used to a woman doing something like this to him. And if it does happen, it's usually hands on. We've seen it live before. I ain't Candace. That's exactly what she says. And so I'm glad Jody Sue took the power in this conversation.
You're
Everybody's
also
lying. I guess
insane.
including the
Get
bruises
off
on
the
your kids
dope.
too, Don.
Get
Right?
off
The
drugs, man. Give me
traffic.
a hint.
I ain't on drugs,
You're
bitch.
fucking
I
so
passed
stupid.
my screens for DCS. How about
You're
you and
fucking
Candace,
stupid.
motherfucker?
You're the liar.
Right.
You are the
Right.
liar.
I got proof of my shit.
You ain't
And
got
it's
no
law
proof.
enforcement.
And by the way, that's 100% true. Jody Sue passed everything, uh, and it didn't take 2 years. Uh, she got, past everything with DCS. She worked the system, Don and Candace, something you two won't even pay 33 cents a day per child, 99 cents a day, $30 a month.
You have
Right.
no proof.
Right.
Go
I got
tell it to
proof.
fucking TBI or somebody.
Oh, I
They
have,
won't listen
Don.
to your dumbass either. Get the fuck out of here.
Right. I ain't getting the fuck out anywhere because I ain't
What
Candace
the
and I
fuck
ain't
out
the
of
little
here.
girl and I ain't the
Everybody
boys
knows
you
you're so
fucking
full of
abused,
shit.
motherfucker. And you ain't
Stupid.
Andy and you ain't the
Shut the
unicorn in the
fuck
world.
up, man.
You don't bother me. What
And
I'm
you don't
telling
bother
you is
me
the
either
only
because everybody knows
traffic
you're full of
was
shit.
at your house. Tell
Man,
them about your ties to
shut
Fred,
the fuck
Dawn.
up.
Tell them about your Knoxville runs that supplied fucking Ben Hill, Dawn.
Now, Don does make a lot of trips to Knoxville. That is true. He said it himself. And I believe her. I 100% believe Jody Sue with this. In fact, Don had even talked about something about the TBI and drugs in Knoxville before. Yes, he said that. All three of those things on a panel. Um, and the ties to Fred, I would like Jody Sue to talk more about that. Um, I would even like to invite her up to talk about that um, soon if she would be willing to come on.
Yeah, really? You're the
Tell
one
them
that
about how
supplied
you really
the,
came about it. Wasn't
the
to care for
psycho
your
drug
mama.
addict.
Guess who did that, Dawn? Oh, I
Shut
don't
the
know,
fuck up.
Sharpie and
Man,
Mop,
keep
who took
bothering
care
me,
of your
Jody
dying
Sue.
mama, you lying piece of shit.
You're the lying piece of
Go
shit.
find another woman to abuse, Dawn. I ain't it, motherfucker. Ha
You're
ha ha,
fuck.
yeah, laugh. I ain't
Nobody's
Candace. You
listening
don't
to you,
freak
Jody
me out.
Sue.
Your
You're a
shit
fucking
ain't cute.
retard.
Be a liar. We
You're a
all
fucking
seen the fuck
retard.
shit
I'm
going on at
so
your
happy
house.
for Andy
I
You don't
don't give
you
a
don't
shit who you're happy for, dude. That don't bother me none either,
good
'cause I ain't
job,
some
Randy.
desperate hoe. And
I don't
I ain't
blame.
Candace out here looking for a piece as soon as your ass is in
What were
jail.
you doing on the
'Cause
bottom
she's tired of
property
being
when Summer
abused
come up
too.
missing?
You
Let me ask you a
small old
question.
dick meth smoking motherfucker.
Let me ask you a question.
You ain't got no
What was you
questions
doing
for
on the
me.
bottom property down there in the creek when Summer come up missing?
Okay, this bothered me because Jody Sue and all of your neighbors was doing the neighborly thing and looking for Summer. That's why she was down at the creek. Um, and it was nothing more than that. And you just said 10 minutes prior that your number one suspect on was God, I can't even think of his name now. The guy you worked with, someone in chat. Mine's clogged. It's shit, it's on the end of my tongue. I can't even think of his name. But Dudley. Yeah, Dudley. Thank you. So, but now he's saying, why was you at the bottom of the hill? Because she is schooling you, Don. And see, that is just shows you how he doesn't take his suspect list seriously. He throws it off every 5 minutes. It's someone new.
I wasn't there when she quote come up missing, but guess what I was doing, Dawn? With other neighbors and witnesses. I was looking for your daughter while your fat ass wife was in her goddamn car lying to the rest of the neighborhood and the other witnesses you all can't fucking outrun with your stupid YouTube chaos.
So, that right there, I've wondered about. And Jody Sue in chat, do you? I mean, do you think Candace was gone when, like, was she going up and down the road prior to dropping off? Like, did she, she dropped off Grandis and Summer, and then was she back on the road again? And could an accident have happened at the house? Grandma was sleeping or something. Is it something like that? Because I feel like Candace was probably left. I mean, she left three very young children at home to begin with. Something that I can't even imagine. So I feel like maybe Candace was running those roads hot. Grandis was sleeping and something happened. An accident.
You're so fucking dumb.
Eat that
You
shit.
know more than fucking law enforcement, don't
Because obviously, you know, nobody's watching those kids. That's neglect. It's neglect. You're not watching your kids. You're supposed to know where your kids are at all times, and that they are safe, and that a adult is watching them. These are not 15, 16-year-old kids. These are elementary kids who was there. The boys was there all day alone. I have a feeling Candace was running those roads hot.
No,
you?
I don't, but I know enough, and I know it wasn't
You don't
my
know
ass that were
shit.
calling
You don't
guilty.
know
It
shit.
wasn't
Go
Dudley
get
they're
back with your
calling
fucking
guilty.
hillbilly
It
motherfucker.
wasn't fucking
Whatever.
Fred they're calling guilty. It wasn't Allie or Hunter. Guess who they were calling guilty and still do, Dawn? That'd be
Who?
you and Candace.
No,
While Pruitt
you're the
said
one
not
that
a
says that.
suspect. Have
You're
them
the one
come out
that
and
says
clear
that.
your ass in.
Dumb
Go
bitch.
down there and knock at the police department. Go
You're a
talk to the
dumb
feds.
bitch.
Go have them clear you, Dawn. Go have
Shut
them
up,
clear
Jody
you.
Sue.
Go talk to them without
You're
lawyers,
a psycho
without
bitch.
without
Fuck.
PIs. Go
You're a
have them
psycho
talk to you,
bitch.
Don.
Go
Go
see
have
a
them clear you.
psychiatrist, Jody Sue,
I don't
please.
need a
You
psychiatrist.
do. You
Hey,
really
this
do.
is.
You're
I
fucked
didn't
up
need
in
a
the head,
Dr.
man.
Phil.
Get your
Oh,
shit
I
together.
know people like you're good at telling women who tell the truth
No,
that
you
they're
are. You
crazy.
think you're good, but you're not
Right,
because you're full of
right,
lies. And nobody believes
right,
you, man. So shut
right.
the
I don't.
fuck up.
Right.
Shut up,
Uh,
you dumb
hey,
bitch.
yeah. You know
Shut the fuck
uh
up.
I'm your bitch,
Shut the
Don.
fuck up. You're
Hey,
stupid.
go find a prostitute in
I am
Knoxville and
fuck
take one of your
yourself,
kids
bitch.
in the car for
Fuck
a
yourself.
weekend. You know all those
Congratulations, Andy,
Knoxville
for getting
trips?
rid of this psycho
Oh no,
bitch.
you don't want
I'm
nobody
so
hearing the
happy
truth,
for
do
you.
you? Go
Gosh
take.
damn, I feel
Oh
sorry
wait,
for your
you
fucking
can't
kids
take any
though.
of your kids
Shut the
anymore on those
fuck up,
Knoxville
man.
trips.
We know Jody Sue is speaking the truth here because Don admits these Knoxville trips. He used to admit them. He admitted to blowing $2,000 worth of, he always wanted to be like the pimp guy, always giving out his blow and everything else, and the hookers and all of that as well. So, yeah, telling truth.
And leave them in
Her guards,
vehicles
take
while
her
you're
out of
fucking
here, man. I can't
prostitutes.
stand this shit. I'm not. I'm
No,
not listening to this
no.
bullshit.
Oh wait, that's right. You
Fuck
can't
you,
take any of
bitch.
your kids
Fuck you,
anymore in the
bitch. I'm
vehicles
not
and
listening
go
to this
to Knoxville,
bullshit.
where the real
Fuck
traffic
you.
comes from,
You're a
right, Dawn?
psycho bitch.
Oh no, I ain't
Psycho
psycho. You
bitch.
just don't like
Psycho
truth.
bitch.
Oh, I've dealt with
Fucking
that for
straight
30 years.
psycho bitch.
Oh,
At
and you're a
maximum
rapist,
extent.
you're a child
Fucking
abuser,
go
and
get
you're a woman
psychotic
abuser, and
help.
you're a meth
You
and
need
crack
fucking
smoking piece of
medication,
shit
man.
who can't
Shut the fuck
fucking
up.
stay clean or do right long enough to keep your other kids, any of them, and you're almost
Hey,
goddamn 60 years old, you
you
loser piece
haven't
of
done
shit.
shit. You haven't done
Right.
shit. You've never worked a fucking job. You
Oh,
ain't
how do
never
you
done
know,
shit.
Dawn?
Fuck
I
you, man.
worked for
What the
most of
fuck
my
have you
life.
done?
You
You
don't
live
know
off your
shit about
mama.
me.
Motherfuckers
Right.
bought you a fucking camper. You ain't
No, they
about
didn't
shit.
buy it. See,
You
that's how
have
much
no
you
right to
know.
talk. Fuck
Right?
off,
I do
man.
have a right to fucking
No,
talk.
you
You're
don't.
living in your dead
Yeah,
mama's
you
house
have
you
no
couldn't
right to
even
put
get
me
the
down.
balls to take
You
care of
don't
before
even
she
know
died.
me.
Hey, actually, guess what? You're
No,
not. You're
fuck
living
off.
in.
Hey, when is it that Don says the N word? I really want to not play that. Does anyone know like the timestamp or when we're getting close? Hey, Smiley.
Jody Sue.
Stepdaddy's house.
Fucking
Your
stupid.
stepdaddy's house and land that was
Fuck
supposed to go to
off.
Mom and Sherfy. Yeah, you
Fuck
remember
off.
those people?
And
That
fuck
land that was
Surfy
supposed
too.
to go to you.
What, the fucking one that got caught with all the pornography on his phone?
Oh
Fuck,
no,
why are you
that's
talking about that nigger? Answer, you went to other states to buy dope. Really? You're
no.
fucking
I
stupid.
fucking didn't, dude.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, give me a break, Don. Give
Fucking
me a
good. Why
fucking
you ain't
break,
give me
not
no break?
rip.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, Knox.
Don is such a he's mad when he starts saying that because he's just vile. He's just vile and vicious. The man has not changed in 60 freaking years. He's been in and out of jail since he was a teenager, for God's sakes. Yeah, yeah. I think I skipped over it just now. Um, you know what? They have such little. Don and Candace have such little self-control that one of the things was they were not supposed to get on panel, stay off of YouTube, zip their mouth about their kids, and they couldn't even do that for their own children. They couldn't work the program. Backed in a corner, yes. That's exactly right. And Don acts like he's stuck in a teenager mindset. Well, this is the thing. When you are in active addiction, you stop maturing from the moment at the. So if you are let's say if you are 20 years old and you start active addiction and you are in active addiction for 10 years and you get clean when you're 30, you are still at the mindset of a 20-year-old maturity. You stop maturing with addiction. It is what it is. And it takes time to catch up once you become clean and, work the program and get your mind clear and healthy and everything again. But clearly, Don and Candace have not. And in my opinion, it's not looking too good for them either. So,
Knoxville trip, Knoxville trip, bring the dope back,
I don't
have
know what
more
the fuck you're
money,
talking about.
take your kid with you to the Knoxville trips over the weekend, trap them in the car while you bang prostitutes and bring the dope back to the fucking hollow and disperse it. Go ahead, Don. Keep lying,
Well, you
bro.
go find proof on all that and go call the
Oh, I
cops
do
and
because of
have
your
me
stupid
arrested
life
for it.
over the
Okay,
years, Don.
you
Are you not
go get
aware?
your receipts and
Oh yeah,
have me
I got
arrested
them.
for it.
I got them
Well,
from your
then do
stupid
it.
fucking
Go
life.
do it.
They've
Go
already
do
been
it.
turned
Don't sit
in,
there and talk
Don. You
shit.
fucking super
No, you
genius.
just want to bring YouTube drama because you have no receipts.
No, I do have them.
No, then go fucking call
Oh,
the cops.
no.
Go
Bullshit.
tell the fucking cops that I sold you dope or whatever you're trying to say.
I
Go
didn't say
for
you
it.
sold me dope. I didn't
Just
do
go
dope.
for it.
Didn't
You're
you?
all about talk, Jody Sue.
No, I'm not, Don.
You're
You just try
drama.
to.
You're just drama. You have
Right.
nothing.
Says Don, who has to visit
Go
40
get me fucking
hospitals a
arrested for
night and
selling
have his
dope then.
ass pampered
Dog,
and
you're such a dumb bitch. Shut the
lies
fuck
and
up.
fucking narratives to try to get your
I
ass
ain't gonna go. I am not doing this
like
all fucking
mimic
night.
and
You
parrot
dumb bitch
and you
does.
abuse one another and you can't even stay clean to keep your goddamn kids.
Man,
Both
I've been clean. I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
right, you never know what anybody's talking about, do you, Don? Especially those you can't spin your bullshit on, and I
I've
ain't
been
one of them.
clean.
I've
I've been.
lived with one of you motherfuckers for longer than you have been anywhere near the state of
Why you
Tennessee.
gotta be a jealous bitch?
I ain't jealous of
We got.
nothing. Why would I be jealous of two meth head
You're the
crackhead
one who said
motherfuckers
it.
who ain't got a
You're the
kid
one
one
who
left
said
on
it.
earth?
You said you was jealous because we had brand new
But I have
vehicles.
never.
I mean, I can't imagine Jody being jealous of Don or Candace. Call me crazy, but I don't see the correlation here. Maybe it's just me, but I don't see Jody of ever being I don't or anyone for that matter of ever being jealous of Don or Candace. Like at all. Like zero.
All
Said
this
I've
going
been
on,
jealous
all
of
our
a
own property,
motherfucker in my life, let
like
alone
fucking
you
10
two.
vehicles in our yard and all this
Dude,
shit.
I have never said
What the
I was
fuck
jealous
ever.
of you ever. Are you kidding me?
That's what
Are
you
you
said.
kidding me? You
Why
are
would you
so
say that
full
then?
of shit. I
Why would
never
you say
said
that
it.
then?
Dude,
See,
nobody's ever
that's
said
what
that.
makes me
You
think
wish
that
they
you had
said
something
that.
done with Summer because
You
you hate me so bad.
Don, you are the ultimate abuser. You abuse anything that is living around you. I mean, we have heard it from multiple sources, not just one source, multiple sources from the 911 recordings to sisters to people who has knew you to witnesses uh of you know DV abuse, animal, all of that. We have heard this from or about you rather. You are a horrible human being. You don't change. You don't change. Why not? I mean, going to Sabbath school 1 day a week, what's that do? It's how you act the other 6 days.
I think you
right.
have something.
Oh,
I think
everybody
you
hates
done
poor
something with
little
Summer
Don. Hey,
because you
Don,
hate me.
nobody hated you till you started trying to set everybody the fuck up and fucking with them and be
Nobody's trying to set anybody up.
bullshit, Don. That's
I was
all
just
you
bringing
all
the
done
point.
from the
All
beginning to
I
end is
said
lie
was they
on
was bringing
everybody.
dope. I
Name your
wasn't trying
own
to set nobody
traffic.
up. Who
Name
was I
your own
trying to set
traffic.
up?
Name your own suspects. Name the real people on your real hill and your real
Yeah,
company.
Jody
Go
Sue
for 'em.
Brown.
You're
I
not
think she's my
supposed
number one
to. Right.
suspect.
Then go ahead and call me.
That's exactly what I was saying. 10 minutes prior, he just said Dudley was the number one suspect. Now, because Jody Sue was schooling him, now Jody Sue's number one suspect. Isn't that funny how that works? He does not care, in my opinion, at all. He doesn't take it seriously. He can't be bothered. The reason he comes on these panels, I believe, is more about his own self than it is finding Summer. Because actions speak louder than words. You don't even pay 33 cents per day until they knock on your door, Don and Candace, and say, you haven't paid this dollar a day for your 3 kids in the last 6 months. So we're going to haul your ass off to jail if you don't pay it. And that is when you pay it because it affects you. You see, that 33 cents a day doesn't really do jack shit for your kids, but regardless, it's 33 cents a day that should be given to your kids, not so you guys can blow it up your nose, consume it down your gullet and everything else that you guys do. Cars paid off, no rent, you have electric and insurance and a cell phone bill. And usually, I'm sure probably someone pays that for you to begin with. Don works. You got to give him credit for that. He works. He's always worked, and he's good at what he does. Give the devil credit where it's due. Um, but not helping out your family with that money and rather blowing it up your nose, drinking it, partying with it, hookers and everything else, you're taking away from your family. You won't even give your kids $1 a day, dude.
A suspect all day long, motherfucker.
Okay, there you
I
go.
don't care. But I'll tell you what's been said is we've been
Well, look
taught.
how much hate you got. Why wouldn't I think that you had
That
something
would
to
be
do with
you,
Summer
your
this
little buddy Mullen, and
You
you.
hate me so bad, you
I
would
don't
do
hate you.
anything
I
to
don't even
fucking get
think
after me.
about you much at all,
You would
other than
even
the
fucking
suspect.
take my daughter.
Right. I wouldn't
You
take.
know all these
I wouldn't
motherfucking
take.
hillbillies in this area. You
Oh, I
know
know.
all of them. You got family here.
Mm-hmm.
You can
I
have a lot
do.
of shit done.
And I know
Not
none
only
of them
that,
are
look at all
taking
the
your
dope you
daughter
hauled in
either.
your car.
I didn't have my car that day, Dawn. The
No,
abuser had
I'm
it.
talking about the day you come up to my house and you showed us all that dope you had.
I
That's
didn't
the
have
day I'm
dope,
talking about.
Dawn. I do not
Oh,
do
really?
dope. I
Okay.
don't have any of that fucking shit. And the day Summer
Whatever.
disappeared,
Okay.
I didn't have a car
Whatever, Jody
either.
Sue. Man,
Yeah,
fuck
okay,
you.
Dawn. You even know what was happening while you were at work most?
Now, I want to say the thing about Tim, the meteor manager. This, I don't really call anyone a tragedy pimp because I think it's way overused. I think it's way overused, and I don't think it's really necessary to say for most creators, even the ones I disagree with, because they're still providing a service. But in my opinion, the real tragedy pimp out of anyone is Tim. He's the one, trademarking, copywriting, and leeching off of Summerwell's name, like legally, copywriting, trademarking, websites, photography, everything. And yet he says horrible things about us YouTubers. Yes, looking for movies, books, all of that. And he jumped up and down and said, "We're going to Hollywood," whenever they were going to the Dr. Phil show. Tim, in my opinion, is not a nice person. I wonder, he lives by his mother, who's like 80 years old. Tim's a senior citizen himself. And to my knowledge, he's never been married. I don't even know if he's ever had a significant other. And you wonder why. Why? I don't know. Wonder why he's. Well, you wonder. I mean, he was never a meteor manager before this, Fat Girl, that I'm aware of, especially for missing kids. Was he? But, Don said the other day that Tim was his best friend. Got it. Yeah. Beverly, you're right. Everybody. He does have a daughter, Jody? Does he have a daughter? Because I don't know. But he was knocking on the door almost to day one. I've got something I'll show you guys in a little bit about that.
The time and all the traffic at your house.
Oh,
that we
I
didn't
was at
figure
work
out
all the
before.
time. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, guess what? That alibis work or not, you're still the motherfucker they've been calling guilty since day one. So congrats,
No,
bro.
that's what you do. That's what you do.
That's
People
what
like
I
you.
That's what I
Straight
heard.
bitch. Straight
Mhm.
bitch. That's
Oh
what
my
you do.
gosh,
People
Helen,
like you.
it's gonna wound me to my soul that Don Wells called me a bitch. Oh dear, I'm devastated.
Okay, how about fucking cunt?
I actually prefer that one. It's a pet name.
Okay, there you go then.
Damn it. Go ahead and call me that too. It ain't gonna bother me none. You can
Okay,
say,
well,
but I'm
whatever,
telling
huh?
you all are the liars. You all are the last ones around, and with Summer, everybody else in the neighborhood, all the bad neighbors, they brought their asses out to look for your daughter, just like they
Nobody
brought
said
their
that.
asses
You're
out to look
saying
for
that.
your
You're the one saying
son.
that.
The
You're the
last
one
child
saying
you
that.
all lost in the fucking
Don't
woods that
you
was
realize? Don't
nonverbal
you realize,
because your
Jody
wife
Sue?
couldn't even stop
Jody
drinking
Sue.
while she was pregnant with that one either.
Jody Sue, listen for a minute.
No, I'm not
Don't
listening.
you
I got to
realize?
listen to you about.
Don't you realize
Nope,
the minute you get
no,
on YouTube,
no, I
the
don't care.
minute you get on
No,
YouTube, all the
no,
trolls,
no,
all the trolls start up.
no, no.
Do you know that
Oh, you
75%
mean
all
wait, wait, wait,
trolls?
wait? Was this after or before you doxed me and my kids and my
I
family and
never
wanted
doxed
you
you.
to scream? Yes, you
No,
did. You apologized
no,
for it down in the road.
no.
It
The
was when you were on
trolls did.
Sheriff's Channel.
The
No,
trolls
you
did. You're
did.
not listening.
You
You're not
showed
listening.
care where we lived and
Jody
everything.
Sue,
Don.
you're
Your
not
wife
listening.
did 2 days after
No,
summer.
that's
Don't
not
know
true.
me. The proof is there,
No,
Don. You can't lie your way
the
past proof.
proof is that the trolls did it.
No, they didn't. No, they
Yes.
didn't.
Do you not know that
and Candace fucking
75%?
Hold on. I want to address something in chat. Kathy Rose. Pull this up. Why you all blame and Dawn, DAWN. We all know that Jose didn't I don't know what that means. And overdosed because he was feeling guilty. What are you talking about? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. This is the thing. That has nothing to do with Summer being gone. Jose was literally closer to Russia than he was Don and Candace's house in Hawkins County, Tennessee on June 15th. He was literally closer to Russia than he was anywhere else. So you can take that to the bank that Jose had nothing to do with it. Was Jose a perfect person? God, no, he wasn't. But none of us are. And I don't expect perfection out of anyone. But I can tell you one thing. It was 8 months later when Summer went missing. And Jose had a full-time job in Alaska where he was working that day. And that was that.
Dude.
Listen,
No, I don't. Not
75%.
those pieces
See,
of
you
shit who
can't
lie and
listen.
spin their
You
narrative.
can't fucking
Because
listen.
what you're not going to do is spin one on me. You're not
No,
going to
I'm
spin
not
one
trying to spin one on
down
you. I
the
just want you
fucking
to think
lies and
about it.
stuff.
I just no,
You
look
know?
it up. Look it
No,
up, Jody
I
Sue.
I have the proof of it. You're a
No,
fucking
look this up.
liar. So Candace, you know what you told me in that road too. I'm sorry, we accidentally doxed you and showed where you lived last night. My bad, dude.
Fuck ever,
You know,
man.
give me a
That's
break.
such a lie.
No, it's
Listen
not
to me.
either. No, it's not.
Listen.
Like y'all sitting there laughing the day you pulled the
Okay,
fucking.
you're being all mad at me. Okay,
No,
but
nobody cares enough about you to be mad at you, Don.
well, you know,
Nobody.
you never have.
Thank you, Vet Girl. YouTube, you guys are smarter than these people realize. We have seen this chaos before and distractions. TBI said it best. Complicated with all involved. Please respect guest in chat. Thank you. Yeah, just be mindful. We don't have to agree with what anyone says, and you are absolutely welcome to respond to something you don't agree to. Just do it respectfully. That's all we ask. You won't be timed out or anything for saying something respectful, whether we don't need an echo chamber here. Yeah. Just be respectful. That's all. Thank you, Vet Girl, for your super chat. I appreciate it. And yeah.
I didn't fucking hate you. The problem I have with you now is the fuck shit you all have done to Summer and her fucking case, yourselves, your community, the
Look what you
neighbors.
did. Look
No,
what you did.
nope,
You're the
nope,
one on
nope. You're not
YouTube
gonna
night
put
after
that
night
shit
saying all kinds of crazy psycho shit.
right. That really had nothing to do with
You're
you. Notice
fucking
you're not
hilarious,
spent
Jody
almost
Sue.
2 years being
Go
the
get
only
some psych
motherfucker.
medications,
No,
please. Or go
right.
smoke a
You mean
joint.
ones like
That
your wife
works.
remember to take those, or you?
Please
You
go get
know,
some psych meds, Jody Sue. You need
oh
them
yeah,
bad.
I know how you and all the
You
abusers
really
and
do.
monsters like you. Oh, the women are crazy. Anybody speaking truth is crazy.
Please
They're
go,
lying on us.
please
They
go
hate
get some
us.
psych
They're
meds.
jealous of us. I don't need psych meds. I need
You
less psych
really do.
shit around that hill, and then oh look at you, fucking bitch. He done took off. Done run off. Well, if you can't abuse them and talk over them, bro.
Andrew, is that you?
Yes, damn.
Um, okay, hon. I just want to
Andrew
make sure
pops
she
up.
knows. How
What
you
in
doing?
the shit show is going on?
And Jody Sue asked to have a minute with Donald, and I told her okay, and I let her have the minute, and it looks like she won.
Darling, that was more than a minute. That was like 15. And the only reason why I know that is because I got an email saying, "Yo, you see what's going on over there?" I'm like, "No."
It
Anyway,
could have been his
sorry for all
Wi-Fi.
cussing, PG. I know that you're the world's best cusser and all. Sorry for cussing, but I've had it with the bullshit. I've had it. I'm fed
And
up. And watching how they have done all of us around this, they've called everybody else guilty. The neighbors who were out searching for summer and trying to do right, even by them all this time, knowing they have done what they've done in real life onward, to everybody in that fucking community and changed the way of life for everybody and even taxes and all this other shit and the loss of land and everybody living behind gates and prison.
Sorry, I was muted. Uh, Thank you guys for telling me that. So, this is something that is old, uh, but Tim Mullins put it up. This is when he was media manager Wells. And, I was just going through some of, the archives of mountains of stuff that we have saved for this case. And yes, she did, Annabelle. She did tell the truth last night. And I'm certainly glad that she delivered. Media manager Wells. As media manager of the Wells family, it is understood that many people may have questions that I can answer concerning how the media and entertainment industries are handled for the Wells family. You may ask there on this Facebook page, and I will do my best to answer the questions, unless it would hinder the investigation or step into law enforcement territory. Any question concerning this is only for any questions concerning the case is only for law enforcement. My job is simple: to handle the professional media for the Wells family. Boy, that went out the effing window. Um, you can't even handle them coming up on a YouTube channel. Uh, this is my skill set. Pick another job then. I only work with professional companies in the news media and entertainment industries. You won't even work with Fox News or anybody else. They've tried to, you know, give Summer a voice, and you won't do it because you know how the facts point at, in my opinion, and probably a lot of others, the parents. So that is why you say no. You're only interested in, uh, like I said, trademarks and copyrights and stuff. In my opinion, you're not interested in uh, interviewing the Wells. And God forbid, Candace won't even talk on a YouTube channel unless you're, petting her. Uh, Anyway, my job is simple: to handle the professional media for the Wells, the news media, and the entertainment industries. I maintain the technical aspects of the website, YouTube, and Facebook for the family. I filter out any improper messages, emails, questions, or threats according to industry standards, in parentheses, that are set. I handle no money, do not get involved in money issues except when helping the family keep the reward fund from being discontinued, nor do I pay out money to anyone. That's right. You bring it all in, don't you? In my opinion. Thank you for your interest in the case, the restoration of the Wells family, and the finding of their daughter, Summer Moon Utah Wells. TM. That's an old one, and I thought I'd bring that one up. Um, do have another some other things as well that I thought was interesting. Of Dawn talking. Let me pop this down here real quick. Let me show you this. Is that it? Nope, that one's not it. Hold on 1 second. Some of Don's very old things that he was. Okay, that's from Jeannie. That wasn't it. Hold on. I got too many windows open here. Let me find it. Okay, it's the one, this one. Okay, I found it. All right. My beautiful daughter, I love and miss you, are my world. And to be rest in peace away has left me devastated in my heart and soul. Please, Lord, bring my baby back to us. Does he mean rip away? Not rest in peace. I guess he means rip away. Back to us. Love you, Summer. Mommy and Daddy and brothers are going to do anything we can for you to bring home. Love you, my sweet angel. Yeah, they're not worried about an abductor. I don't think they're ever worried about an abductor. The card team said there was nothing. Deuces, they're out 95% success rate. So listen, I mean, they said there's no sign of an abduction. And when they say there's no sign of an abduction, I completely believe them. Okay, this was the one I wanted to show you. It's a very Donald Wells. I was in the deepest, darkest pit, no way out. The Bible was laying there in the mud. I stepped on it a few times. I didn't dare open it. I was mad at God, but allowed satanic forces to overwhelm me and overcome me and throw me down in this pit. There was no one that could help me. So I reluctantly opened the Bible, read a few things, and begged God, please forgive me, to return where I once was, and he pulled me out of the pit. I asked him to please forgive me for being mad at him, for turning my back on him. Is not his fault that evil exists. I pray you, Lord, please forgive me, and I pray for all my brothers and sisters in Christ facing such challenges. Praise be always. Yeah, that's what I'm asking S. You know, what could it have anything to do with? Yeah, he was possessed with something. You know, I wonder if it just had anything to do with Summer. Mm. Well, that's the reason they call alcohol spirits, right? Because it changes, your behavior. If you guys hear my cat, I'm sorry. He is really a needy. What, Mittens? Oh, my cat, man, I'm telling you. Yeah. Bible it up, Don. Bible it up. You're exactly right. Okay, I'm gonna finish playing this. Let me find it here. Yeah, I hear you, Mittens.
And their children traumatized, wondering where Summer went, and their church families crying every night. And all they can do is continue to blame everybody but themselves, or name their real trafficker, their real dope dealing, and to hear that motherfucker lie about anything over at my house when I can count on my hand in the decade I lived there how many people ever came there on less than two hands. I don't think so. All the traffic. There was more traffic at Dawn and Candace's every goddamn day than there was in a week towards anywhere else in that goddamn hollow. The rest of us were taking care of our kids, not out partying with other kids while we left other kids at home. We weren't on fucking dope. I have blood work, bone marrow, hair samples, whatever they want for years, showing I have not and do not do drugs. I can prove it, and I can prove every word I'm fucking saying. You know,
And
I didn't
you
lose.
know,
I have my children despite his and Candace's efforts with YouTube tragedy pimps to get her taken and put back in places where she could be harmed with abusers. I have my receipts, and they have been turned into law enforcement. And I know who these people are, and I am still the only one for almost 2 years who come out here in an unbiased way and was like, maybe they're not guilty, but they're still pieces of shit. But maybe they didn't, and maybe Summer was abducted, taken, you know? And it come in here and sling shit at them. I ain't told all their.
And that's true. She gave them the benefit of the doubt, especially in the beginning. It's everyone's. The last person, you hope that did something like this is the parents of a child. Unfortunately, that is usually who it is, but it's the last ones you want to expect. But knowing Don and Candace's past, even their recent past since Summer has went missing, you know, and it's usually the parents, and they live on a dead end road in the middle of nowhere. And I mean, I've been on Ben Hill Road, and I've stood on the road for literally in the road for an hour, and not a single car passed. Not a single car passed in an hour. And Jody Sue will tell you this: the only reason you go on Ben Hill Road is if you live there, or you're going to visit somebody, or somewhat a delivery of some sort, and that's it. Like, that is it.
Business even yet, even tonight. I have not put all the receipts out in public. Those are for feds and law enforcement.
Daisy, if you have something to say to Jody Sue, take the link and come up and say it.
Oh,
Don't
I'm
sit
not
in
going
the
to
chat.
do Daisy.
Don't sit in the chat.
I'm not going to do it. Dawn's one thing, but Daisy ain't going to get up and play her fucking
no, I
shit.
just got one
Don't
small
sit in the
question to
chat
ask.
and talk about Jody Sue. I'm going to tell you, I seen Jody Sue, and she did say from day one, Jody Sue has always said
And
that
seriously,
that no
challenge
one
out
came upon that hill where she lives. She said that even her family wasn't on that hill visiting. That her and Andy and and whoever else was up on that hill pretty much lived an isolated life. I remember her saying that more over and over and over throughout the whole 2 years.
Even my sister said it. They never come down there. Nobody comes to
Exactly.
the house ever.
Hold on, I want to ask something in chat. Shauna, you said the oldest was old enough to watch the younger children. Are you referring to Don and Candace's oldest elementary school child? Is that who you're referring to? Because in my opinion, someone that a younger child shouldn't be watching out for two older or two younger kids specifically for that length of time. Um, a 12-year-old shouldn't be watching out for two smaller kids for all day. I mean, I would never leave a 12-year-old at home, but and it's specifically watching out for two other kids, but that's me.
He is not going to make everybody in that goddamn neighborhood some giant ass dope dealer, even if it's fucking monster. Because truth is fucking truth. You don't lay shit at people's fucking feet that ain't fucking truth. And I wouldn't
And
even do that to Monster, and I'll be damned if he's going to throw Monster under the bus or everybody else in that community, including me or my children or anything else more than they've already done with Mullen's help.
and early on,
Not Hunter. I mean, Andrew's here. Look at what they fucking try to put off on Hunter and Allie, talking about they probably come back and they hate them and they're jealous of them and they've done something to Summer. The fuck you say? Ain't nobody did nothing with Summer. Everybody in that neighborhood and community and her church families, because there are multiple, look for Summer and cry every night and wonder, were the ones that wake at 3 and 4 in the morning looking for nipples for as a baby because they didn't have enough, were the ones that fed those kids, kept an eye on them when DCS would come in and close case after case after case and we didn't know what to do.
right.
That is absolutely true, Scorpio, by the way. There was, and I think it was closed like maybe the day before, according to Don and Candace. But and as Jody Sue said, there was just multiple calls, and yeah. And that's exactly right, Liplock. There is no legal age for children to stay at home alone. Parents are advised to use their best judgment, keeping the child's maturity level and safety issues in mind. Yeah, and it's at the parents' discretion. Some, my heart goes out to the single parents who, their kids have to get off a bus alone. They got to feed their family. Um, but it's usually not like an extended period of time, and and also I would probably say that how mature would the oldest one be? uh you know there's that as well. So
Right, right.
Jody Sue, you go, girl. Let me tell you something. That man does not like the truth to be told at all.
No, they don't like women that stand up, and Andy will be the only one ever in my life that, there was one unicorn and it's done. I fear no one else on this earth and not a monster, an abuser, otherwise. Don thinks he was going to skip past that, and I hate talking over him, but I know what kind of narrative shit he runs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
And he
yeah.
knows he's lying, and I
Oh,
know
yeah.
he's lying.
Oh yeah. And he tries to back out of everything. Oh yeah.
I got a question for Judy, by the way, if you don't mind.
What's up, man?
Now, I had gotten a recent comment on one of my videos over this last weekend.
I've not seen any of yours, Andrew. I don't.
Oh, it's all right, darling.
I generally try to keep all of us separate, like I always have.
Oh
I
yeah.
try to keep Allie separate. This up here,
Apparently,
I don't know that it was a good idea because law enforcement and feds. I don't know if I should have gotten up here, but I'll be damned if he's gonna run that shit and lie even on Monster and try to put more suspicion. You're not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
well, this was
Right's right,
posted.
wrong, and lying is fucking wrong. The
Oh,
most
yeah.
traffic in that road was theirs.
Well, this was posted up on my shit 13 hours ago. Apparently you spoke to the PBI about me.
No, I've never
Okay.
mentioned your name. Period, Andrew.
Well, no, I'm just saying what's been going, what's getting slapped over on my side from some random person called Voldemort.
It's a troll. They're pretending to be the name I used to have for the abuser.
Oh, that ain't you then?
No, it's not me. That's a troll, a long known
All
one.
right,
And
that
I've
works
never.
for me.
I don't know you, dude. You know what I mean? I ain't got shit to say to the feds about you because I don't know you. You know what I mean? And I don't think you're sus in any way in my book. I know you didn't do nothing to fucking Summer. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm concentrated on the puzzles and fires and pieces that lead to Summer.
Hey, Benny, how's it going?
Good. I just saw you. Is Don
Oh,
still here?
Benny Keys. Oh,
Oh boy.
I love that post you put up there. I posted it to Facebook, buddy.
Watch this.
How you doing, Jody?
Watch this.
What's up, Andrew? Why you keep tagging me and shit, homie?
I ain't been tagging. Oh no, I didn't
You
tag
shut your
anything
stupid
yet.
ass up. You just tagged me, lying ass fucking toothless bastard. Shut your ass up.
No,
You just
I
fucking
did not.
tagged.
Listen, I see a lot of talk in the chat that I kicked Don Wells. I did not kick Don. Don ran off
No,
on
he
his
hopped
own
off panel.
Don's a
or
pussy.
got knocked off. There's a link in here. I put links out every few minutes. If Don wants to come back up, he is more than welcome to come back up. Right? He's more than welcome to come back up. So he left on his own reconnaissance. I did not kick Don. So please, and I didn't have one person up louder than the other. You know, that's not truth either. Probably Jody Sue has a better.
All right, so we're about to get to round 2. Jody Sue and Benny Keys. And PG.
Computer and microphone than Don does. And
Yeah, she getting no
he's
YouTube
probably
videos.
using
Listen here,
cell
bud.
phone or whatever.
Different.
What's shaking, Miss Jody? How you doing?
Fuck off, Benny.
Man, fuck
Last
yourself
word.
too. How about
You
that? You
ever need
fucking
to
lifelong
speak to me?
suspect. You still out here running your fucking mouth? Jesus
Oh
Christ.
yeah.
Can't
Right.
really hear him that
Oh, did
good.
you come up for mowing? How much you getting paid this week, bro? Last time I spoke to you
More
was
than
when
you
you
made all
called my
year.
daughter a moron, and that's all I have to say to you. So you sit there and spend
You
whatever
mean
never
the same
you do.
daughter that you wanted me to meet with on the West Virginia state line?
Oh, did you come up here to try to talk over me too, to abuse me, to do what Dawn couldn't?
Princess Diana.
Yep. No,
Yeah,
you're
you
just
sing a
another
trailer,
abusive
homie. It ain't even your
monster,
trailer.
man.
Shut your ass up.
And you're gonna try to finish what Don couldn't. That's it, because Don couldn't hold his own. You're gonna try to do the job for him for whatever pay for playing that abuser down. What the fuck you want, Benny? Spin a narrative, do it, get it done.
I kicked him. Now Benny Keys, I did kick. I'm not going to let him come up here and abuse Jody
That
Sue.
didn't
That
last
ain't
long.
happening. It's not.
Hell no.
Us women stand up for one another. Benny, if
No,
you
That's
can come
right.
up here
time I
and
spoke
That's
treat
to
her
right.
with respect, don't come up here at all. I'm sorry. No,
y'all, he straight
you're not
said
going to do that.
some type stuff about my daughter at Christmas and fucked up her Christmas list. I talked to him nicely, tried to be a human being to him a few weeks ago, and he called me about a month ago and did the last live, and he called my daughter a moron, and I told him that was it, no more. And that was while he was porn blackmailing other women. I'm not having it. Why?
Right.
And this is him right before his arrest for harassment against another woman, while he's over pretending to be Smokey's champion. Give me a break.
Exactly. I don't understand why certain men want to abuse women. They want to say ugly things. I don't know if they have a mommy issue or if they have an ex-wife issue or what their issue is. But you know what? I would think that they would be educated enough in their small little pea brains to understand that every woman isn't mommy or every woman isn't your ex. Okay? Give other people a chance. Give other people a chance. You know, like a lot of men will be like, "Oh, your name's
That's the
Susie. I hate
thing.
Susies because I dated a Susie." Okay. I don't care who you. Every Susie ain't that Susie, buddy. And and if you ain't educated enough to know that, then no Susie should be around you. You just drop that Susie off and keep on fucking
What's
going.
ridiculous is
Jody
that
Sue
all of
Beth
these
Ann said she loves you and that she's proud of you.
the thing is, look at all this, though, you guys. I mean, throughout this, I mean, they've tried to make Monster look guilty and all this, and no matter what I think about my abuse for that long and my kids and what was done to us by this abuser, I have
Right.
still told the truth where he's concerned, which is a hard walk. I could easily be out here going, "Oh, he's this, he's that, he's guilty, he's sus," but I don't, because you don't lay fucking lies and shit like that, even if someone is a monster. I've done the same for Candace and Dawn. How many times have you all heard me in public go, "No, you all are wrong. Candace and Dawn are telling the truth on XYZ," or the facts are wrong. Candace and them are whatever. I've taken up where taken up is due and truth where truth needs to be. But and then all these assholes just come and just they don't care who they harm, man, in return. Even those who
Because they need to keep the focus off their self, Jody Sue. They put all that focus on everyone else and did not care what gratifications you were going to go through by them doing that to keep the focus off themselves. And that is
I want
exactly what is going on here. And why do they need to focus off themselves if they're innocent?
I mean, and look,
Exactly.
I have tried, PG. I've tried. I've offered since day one of Summer Vanishing to do a polygraph. They say they don't need one. We have tried to get the best world experts that are over the FBI and shit to do one, but they will not do it without FBI approval. I've been willing to pay for it myself, keep it off YouTube, any results, so it's left behind for law enforcement in case something happens with me and my health. That way, they always have a path to the truth. If they needed one, they come get one. Anytime, day or night, they want one, they can come get one. I'm not afraid of the truth because truth is truth. And I had nothing to do, nor did my children, with Summer vanishing. We want the answers and truth. My child cried the other day when, and I have witnesses to this, when we seen this truck, right? This Toyota started acting crazy. And then, we watched it's a man. It was all weird, acting crazy. It was one of the first ones I've ever reported because it was so sus. And there sits a Warriors Path squad thing. And I'm like, please call that in. Please, right now. Because the guy knew we were watching him. I mean, this guy, it was insane, right? So we
Right.
called it in, and I just want to make clear, it has since been cleared. But my daughter waited for days till we got word back that it had been cleared. You know, my
Right.
kids, they wonder and worry about Summer. We worry. I want
Exactly.
truth. I want answers. I want Summer found. I want legitimate searchers all on that road to dig up every fucking hill and mound if they need to. Not tragedy pimps or YouTubers, but I want
I think they just need to like condemn Ben Hill Road and just offer money for each piece of property and just tear it up. But that's just me. Um I mean, Don and Candace have a really nice piece of property. It's on a hill and stuff, but they don't put any love into their house or their property or anything for that matter that I'm aware of. You don't see them really respect anything. How you treat something is how you respect something as well. If you respect your car and you're appreciative and you take care of it, you get oil changes, you change the tires, you keep it clean, all of that. And that goes with your home as well. It doesn't mean it's got to be spotless at all times or even necessarily clean, but it also doesn't mean there has to be roaches and rats everywhere. And by the way, Trevor was at the last court date and he was streaming and I was streaming him while he was at the last court date, and the Subaru was junked. Like, it's not an old Subaru, it is junked. And when Kathy was saying that rats have, tore it up as well. Rats have went in the car, underneath the hood, which is common. Rats will go in, particularly during the winter when, you've warmed up your engine and it's a warm place to go, and they get like the insulation out of the cars and all of that. And um it's just not a good look. You know what I mean? Not a good look.
Real Fed level equipment and absolute top notch searchers to go in everywhere they need to for forever until they find her and the truth and answers. I do not
Absolutely.
want to live and breathe to my
And
dying day not knowing what happened.
and
But the
I
answer uh,
and I
behind
want to know, Jody Sue, why, why why you and all of Summer's army, all of us want that to be done, but the Wells don't. Why are the Wells fighting it? Why are they fighting? They don't want the cold case to come in and help. I mean, they actually turn people away instead of inviting them in. If you truly have a missing daughter, by God, you're going to invite anyone and everyone into your life that could possibly help you find that child.
here's the thing, Don and Candace are Don and Candace, right? They look guilty as hell because of who and what they are, and they have since day one, right? It's always been a concern that they could be arrested just because of what pieces of shit they are. I still, it's like,
For me, it's not even, I mean, do I think Don and Candace are suspicious? Yes, I have since pretty much day one. Obviously, you don't know in the beginning, but as a figure of speech, I have never flip-flopped on that. Uh, there's very few of us creators who have not flip-flopped. A lot of creators have flip-flopped, and that's their right to do so, I suppose. But Don and Candace, they just don't treat anything good. And for me, it's not so much that I'm not focused on necessarily, I mean, I am, but I'm not, it's not so much pointing the finger at them. It's the point that whether they did this or they didn't, they are not doing anything, in my opinion, to help find their daughter. And regardless, they're not good parents. And it's just the way it is. It is what it is. And it's their the proof is in the pudding. Nobody's asking to be, Martha Stewart, you know, coming home, cooking 3 meals a day, kissing your husband and, watching the sunflowers grow outside. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the basic necessities, a clean home, uh, just, not bugs everywhere and rodents everywhere, and taking your kids to the doctor appointments, their dental hygiene, that kind of stuff. And they weren't poor. That's the thing. Don makes great money, wonderful money, compared to a lot of people in that area. Momo, it's I don't know if it's so much lazy, because Don is not lazy. Don works. He's a functional uh addict. And it's not so much, I don't think Don is lazy. Now Candace, that's probably a different story. Um but it's priorities. The things that matter to you most is what you give your priorities to. It's what you should give your priorities to. Um and that was never happened on 110 Ben Hill.
Like, I'm not going to say they're guilty or innocent until law enforcement does. You know, I'm not
Right,
going to do
right. But
that.
they are number
The
Yes,
one
more
guys,
they're
please
suspect.
hit the thumbs
doing,
up
the
button.
more
I
they're
need
doing,
more of
the
those,
more they're targeting,
please.
the more evidence comes out that
It's
they're having
free.
Mullen do it, that there are literal recordings of Mullen laughing about it and yucking it up and thinking it's funny, that some of us around Summer's case are being pushed to unalive or have heart attacks or to die or to be targeted in ways that crazies are trying to come to our locations they've doxed. He thinks it's funny. They think it's funny. They admit Candace thinks it's funny. That is never going to play well in front of a judge, jury, or otherwise. You don't
And
do that, even if it's after the fact.
I
You
can
don't.
witness. I can
And
witness to Jody Sue is telling the truth. Jody Sue, I can witness for you because I was one of
Amen to
them.
that.
I was one of them that the Wells
Okay, sorry about that. I'm having some technical difficulties back here. But what kind of parents have time for jokes and pranks to pull on family members, um, other YouTubers, like that is, and it's what I was talking about earlier with addiction. You stop maturing. It's like they are literally acting like teenagers. No, my mic was something's I don't know, my computer's really slow right now. It's like I think I need to restart it. So Joshua. Um so yeah, but anywho, guys, I've got to jump off here. I've been on here almost 3 hours anyways. Uh, I will be back later this evening at 5 o'clock Eastern. We'll be doing about an hour live or a little bit longer. We are going to be talking about some, we'll just say 911 calls. So, appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here. Um, Jody Sue, you told Dawn where to put it, and on a one-way ticket. So good for you, girl. Happy for you. And I know that that was literally 2 years of bullshit that he has said about you and fed about, tried to convince um, things on you and most importantly, your family, which is untrue, which is just something that Don and Candace are good for. They like to project on others, not take accountability for anything in their lives. And that is probably not going to change, to be quite honest with you. So, appreciate you all. God bless you all. Setting a notification for 5 sharp. Yeah, I'll be that's exactly right, Beverly. I'll have it scheduled probably in the next hour or so. I have to go pick up my kids and stuff right now. So, all right. Talk to you later. Thank you all. Appreciate you. And we'll see you later this evening. Bye bye.